Since we're all gonna die, there's one more secret I feel I have to share with you. I did not care for The Godfather.
It all started with a few flirty glances at an after-party. A couple of Instagram likes, and then boom, Teyana Taylor and Aaron Pierre were Hollywood's newest unexpected couple. Nobody saw it coming. Teyana had just come out of a rough, public breakup with Iman Shumpert, and fans were still rooting for a possible reconciliation.
But Teyana?
She had moved on. And not just emotionally, visibly, publicly, and passionately. Aaron Pierre wasn't your usual messy tabloid guy. He's known for his serious roles, deep voice, and quiet charm. That's exactly what drew Teyana in. He was the calm after the storm. For months, their relationship looked like a dream. Paparazzi shots of candlelit dinners, cozy red carpet moments, and the music video that changed everything. Long time. That one video turned whispers into screams. The chemistry was undeniable. You couldn't fake that kind of heat. Fans were locked in, calling them the next power couple. But as they say, every dream has its nightmare. Behind the scenes, there were whispers. Nothing concrete, nothing proven, but they were loud enough to travel. And one whisper in particular started gaining traction. Someone from Aaron's past, a woman he had quietly dated before Teyana, had resurfaced. At first, it was just cryptic Instagram captions. A black and white sonogram image posted for a few hours, then mysteriously deleted. A story that read, "Ain't nothing hidden that won't come to light." It didn't take long for social media to do what it does best, connect the dots. People started questioning the timeline. When did Aaron and Teyana actually start dating? Was there an overlap? Was this woman pregnant with Aaron's child? The rumor hit like wildfire. And as expected, it didn't take long to reach Teyana. For a while, she stayed quiet. But insiders say she was livid. Not just at the situation, but at the silence. Aaron hadn't addressed the rumor. Not publicly. Not even to her, according to people close to the situation. Teyana felt blindsided. This was the same man who told her she was safe. That he was drama-free. And now this? She needed answers. And she wasn't about to get them from social media. That's when, allegedly, Teyana made the first move. Sources claim she reached out to Aaron's ex privately, hoping to clear the air. No cameras, no drama, just truth. But the conversation didn't go the way she thought it would. The ex came in hot. She didn't back down. She didn't soften her tone just because it was Teyana Taylor on the other line. Allegedly, she confirmed she was pregnant. She didn't say Aaron's name directly, but she made it very clear she wasn't talking about just any man. And then came the bomb. She claimed Teyana had known all along. That's when things escalated. Teyana, stunned and furious, allegedly demanded proof. And according to multiple unverified reports, the two ended up meeting in person. No entourage, no stylists, just two women with a whole lot to say. It was supposed to be civil, but it didn't stay that way. Sources say the moment Teyana saw the ex, it was tension from the jump. The kind of tension you feel in your chest before words are even exchanged. The ex was ready. She wasn't intimidated. She felt like she had something to prove. Teyana, on the other hand, had been humiliated, and she was ready to defend her name. Voices were raised. Fingers were pointed. And according to one witness, a glass was knocked over, shattering across the floor like a warning shot. We don't know who said what exactly, but it was clear. Emotions were running high. The argument spiraled into accusations, timelines, and betrayal. Teyana allegedly screamed, "If he lied to me, say it to my face." And the ex, she smiled. That smile that says, "Girl, you don't even know the half of it." And then things got physical. We're told security had to step in. Not because of a full-blown fight, but because it was about to be won. Both women were held back, voices echoing through the room. The ex allegedly shouted, "You think you're the only one he loved?" And Teyana, red with rage, just stood there, silent, boiling, betrayed. Aaron? Nowhere in sight. That absence made everything worse. Fans started asking, where is he? Why hasn't he said anything? Why isn't he defending Teyana? Or at least speaking on the rumor? His silence was deafening. And the longer it lasted, the more the internet filled in the blanks. People began digging. Photos from months ago were analyzed, timestamps compared, comments dissected. Some claimed Aaron had been double timing. Others believed this was all a setup, an ex trying to get clout off Teyana's name. But a small, vocal group started turning on Teyana, calling her dramatic, saying she always finds herself in mess. That part hurt the most. Because for a woman who had rebuilt herself after a public heartbreak, who had finally found someone who felt safe, this felt like betrayal on multiple levels. Teyana didn't just lose trust in Aaron, she felt exposed. She had shared her relationship, her happiness, her peace with the world. And now, all of it was being questioned. To make matters worse, a day after the confrontation, the ex posted another story. A picture of her growing belly, captioned, "Protected and chosen." That one sentence sent social media into a frenzy. People read into every word. Was it shade? Was she confirming Aaron's paternity without saying his name? Was she throwing salt in Teyana's wound on purpose? Teyana went dark. No posts. No likes. No interviews. Then, out of nowhere, she popped up at an event, alone. No Aaron. No ring. Just Teyana, head high, energy cold. She didn't speak to press, but the message was loud and clear. Don't play with her. A few days later, Aaron finally broke his silence, but it wasn't what people expected. No denial. No confirmation. Just a vague post. In time, truth speaks louder than noise. Fans were split.
Some saw it as a cop-out.
Others felt he was trying to protect everyone involved. But most agreed it was too little too late. By then, the damage was done. Teyana had unfollowed him, removed several posts, and her team, according to insiders, made it clear there would be no public reconciliation. As for the ex, she's been riding the wave, gaining followers, dropping cryptic captions, and allegedly negotiating a podcast appearance to tell her side. The story's not over. Not by a long shot. But one thing is clear, what started as a fairy tale quickly turned into a front row seat to chaos. And in the middle of it all, Teyana stood tall, even while everything around her fell apart. Because no matter what the truth is, one thing you can't deny, this woman knows how to fight with grace. And she's not done yet. But even as Teyana tried to hold herself together, things around her kept unraveling. Close friends began speaking off the record. Some said she was completely devastated, crying behind closed doors, confused about what to believe. Others said she was angry, not just at Aaron, but at herself for letting her guard down again. Trust is hard-earned in Hollywood, and even harder to protect. One friend reportedly told a blog she thought Aaron was different, that he wasn't like Iman. But now she's questioning everything. The comparison to Iman stung. That chapter was supposed to be closed. But when your past starts looking like your present, it's hard not to wonder if you've made a mistake. And then came the receipts. Leaked DMs allegedly showed conversations between Aaron and the ex just weeks before his public debut with Teyana. The tone was flirty, suggestive, like a man who hadn't fully moved on. While nothing in the messages confirmed a physical relationship, they were enough to spark doubts. Teyana saw them, or so insiders say. And that's when the switch flipped. She wasn't just hurt anymore. She was done. According to someone from her inner circle, she called Aaron that night. It wasn't a conversation, it was closure. She told him whatever trust she had left was gone. And from that moment forward, they were done. The next day, her publicist issued a quiet but pointed statement. Miss Taylor is focusing on her healing and her family. Translation? She's not here for games. Meanwhile, Aaron's team scrambled. A source close to him claimed he was blindsided by the backlash. That he didn't think the pregnancy rumor would blow up the way it did. That he believed he had time to handle it privately. But Teyana didn't want privacy. Not after being publicly humiliated. She wanted truth. And silence isn't truth. It's avoidance. As the story continued to unravel, more eyes turned to the ex. Her social media grew overnight. Suddenly, she was posting outfit pics, promoting brands, hinting at a possible reality TV deal. The line between victim and opportunist started to blur. One follower commented, "Are you grieving or branding?" Others defended her, saying she had every right to speak her truth and build her platform. And maybe both were true. Maybe she was hurt. And maybe she also saw a door swing open and chose to walk through it. Either way, she wasn't going anywhere. The pregnancy became the center of everything. Was it real? Was Aaron truly the father? Why hadn't there been a DNA test? Rumors started swirling that a paternity test had been done in secret. One blog even claimed to have seen the results, but conveniently, the post was taken down within hours. No screenshots. No evidence. Just more questions. Teyana didn't flinch. She kept showing up at events, on red carpets, solo. She smiled when she had to, but her eyes told a different story. This wasn't just gossip. This was heartbreak. Again. And maybe that's why her fans rallied harder than ever. The hashtag We Ride with Teyana started trending. Celebs dropped supportive comments. Old interviews resurfaced of her talking about loyalty, love, and not settling for less. Suddenly, she wasn't just a singer or actress. She was every woman who's ever been lied to. Every woman who's ever had to pick herself up, dust herself off, and keep moving. And move, she did. 1 week later, she announced a new project. A visual short film about betrayal and healing. Written by her. Directed by her. Starring her. Art imitating life. It wasn't subtle. And that's what made it powerful. Because if there's one thing Teyana knows how to do, it's turn pain into performance. And this performance? It's just getting started.